Hey, so two things before we start this video. If you subscribed to me after finding my NSB video, great job. And if you're watching this video, great job too. And thank you to all the people that have watched my NSB video. I genuinely couldn't believe that it is doing so well. I didn't expect it to do well, and I'm extremely grateful, so thank you all so much. And second, you'd know that I was making this video if you voted on my community tab or saw my community post that I made a week ago. I'm going to try to be more active there, so if you want to know about future videos, updates, or announcements, check there. Anyway, let's get into it. One of the things I believe differentiates K-pop from the Western world is that albums still are bought, purchased, and even collected now in the 2020s. I'm not saying people here in the West still don't collect them, but CDs, vinyls, and other forms of physical music consumption have become almost irrelevant nowadays, though I have seen vinyls becoming more popular as a form of nostalgia. I started collecting K-pop albums over 2 years after becoming a fan. For context, I became a K-pop fan in 2020 during the pandemic, and ever since I haven't come out of the rabbit hole that is this genre called K-pop. I've seen many things in these past 5 years. I feel like a veteran who survived the Vietnam War after everything I've seen and faced so far. Tangent aside, I've collected a good amount of albums so far, but I haven't bought one in over a year, for multiple reasons. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing that. This is only my opinion, by the way, and I'm not saying that you guys should do the same, but rather reflect on my video and take some advice from me. First point is that I'm broke. Okay. In all seriousness, the first point is that these albums are way too damn expensive. If you're trying to collect or buy K-pop albums, you better have a good amount of money in your wallet, or be prepared for half your money to be spent on one album alone. As someone who was and still is in school, I don't have the budget to buy these albums. If anyone watching this video is in high school or middle school and you want to buy a K-pop album, I'd advise saving up your money to buy at least 2 or 3 albums. The average K-pop album here in America, from what I've seen, goes for about more than $25. As a broke school student, I ain't got that money for that, and my parents don't buy them for me. I have to buy it all myself because they don't want to spend their own money on my interest. I would also like to mention that buying albums in person is way more expensive compared to online. Most of the albums I've bought, I got on Amazon and go for cheaper than in real life. For example, I bought the LE SSERAFIM Unforgiven album in real life, and I kid you not, it was $38. While on Amazon, it goes for $20. And this was 6 months after the album was released that I bought the Unforgiven album. It's easier for an adult with their own disposable money to buy an album compared to a kid spending their parents' money, because at least they know what the consequences are. Second point is, I don't want to give any of these companies my money. This relates to the first point because when you buy an album by a specific company, your money goes to the company. Most of it, at least. All music companies are greedy, but K-pop companies have to be at the tippity top when it comes to greediness. And dare I say, the most calculated. These K-pop companies are making multiple versions of the same album to boost album sales in their own pockets. Looking at you, SM. I also do understand that due to shipping fees and stuff, these albums are more expensive than intended, but I feel like these companies and manufacturers are making them way more expensive than they need to be. I hate most, if not all, K-pop companies, specifically HYBE and YG, for different reasons, but HYBE has to be the most greedy out of the big four. Not to mention, HYBE might be allegedly supporting Israel and the genocide going on in Palestine, and I don't want my money going to that. Allegedly. Please don't sue me, HYBE. In conclusion, I hate K-pop companies and they're not worthy of my money. Last and final point, and this is more of a question than anything, but for those who collect K-pop albums, after you've opened it and looked through it and stuff, do you ever touch it again afterwards? No, like, genuine question, guys. After I get an album and go through the photos, see what photo cards I got, and take out the goodies, I put it on my bookshelf and I don't really touch it again after that. I'm pretty sure most of my albums are collecting dust by now, to be honest, and I'm pretty sure most of you guys can relate to that. It's not like I can do much with the album after getting the photo cards and other stuff. I bet you most people who buy K-pop albums only buy them to get the photo cards, and I include myself in this conversation. I've also seen people who buy multiple versions of the same album throw the albums out after collecting the photo cards, which is bad for the environment, and that could be a whole other point in itself. There's so much paper in K-pop albums that people just waste it by throwing it in the trash. That's very, very wasteful. The only time I've bought one of the same album twice was IVE's I've Mine album, and yet I got no photo cards in each album. What a scam, Starship. Anyway, I was pretty pissed off about that when I opened them, but I'm getting sidetracked. If you want photo cards so bad, buy them on Amazon or at your local K-pop store. They're cheaper and you get multiple ones of your faves. K-pop companies are making us fans a bunch of gamblers with this photo card system, for real. So yeah, those are the main reasons why I don't buy K-pop albums anymore. But just to clarify, if I was going to buy an album again in the future or now as I'm making this video, I would only buy them from one of my ultimate groups. So those would be ENHYPEN, Blackpink, or IVE. I would include FX in this conversation, but we all know that they're not active anymore. I'm very tempted to buy IVE's recent album, not gonna lie guys. This should conclude this video for now. Thank you to the people who voted for this video on my community tab, and I will be posting the other two videos somewhere in the next couple weeks or so. And let me know what you guys think about the purchasing of K-pop albums and why you do or do not buy them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!